So it is finally that time of year again. We reach the end of January and it means WWE heads onto the road to WrestleMania, and we kick things off with the Royal Rumble this Saturday from St Petersburg, Florida. I can't wait. I feel like both Rumbles are more unpredictable than ever that we've seen in the last few years. There's obviously quite a lot of favourites for it, but no one really knows who's going to come out on top. So that's what makes the Rumble so great. And also the fact we've not had as many announced entries. There's always going to be lots of returns about who could come back, who could debut. We're going to go through the entire card and predict who we think is going to win. Let me know who you think are going to win both the Rumbles down in the comment section below. Let's get into it. Logan Paul makes his first defence of the United States title as he takes on the prize fighter Kevin Owens. This is going to be a really good match. This has been built up really for a few years now, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, whether it's them being interacted with at WrestleMania 37, on SmackDown with Sami Zayn. It just sort of feels like, maybe not intentionally, but they've been sort of building up this match of Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens for a few years now. This is going to be a great match. I feel like had this been maybe a ladder match, that would have been even better. But I think with two Rumbles, you've got to let the focus be on that. Like, that's why we've only got 4 matches, I think, whereas we usually get about 5 or 6. It's quite obvious. I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is my favourite wrestler, but Logan Paul is going to retain. He's only made 1 title defence. I feel like where we're going is Logan Paul versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. I personally think that they're going to do Logan Paul versus LA Knight versus Kevin Owens in a triple threat, because I feel like Logan will screw Owens out of it eventually. He'll try and get his rematch. He'll get it at Mania, triple threat match, gets Owens on the card, gets Knight on the card. Knight takes the title there. Then do Logan versus LA Knight. Maybe it's SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, Backlash. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to this match though. I think it'll be really good. But yeah, Logan Paul to take the win and retain the title. Next up, in a fatal 4-way match for the Universal Championship, champion Roman Reigns actually turns up to work and defends his title when he takes on Randy Orton, LA Knight and AJ Styles in a fatal 4-way. This is the easiest match to predict on the card. Roman Reigns is going to retain, quite obviously. We're building up to either Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 2 at WrestleMania or Roman Reigns versus The Rock. It's so obvious Roman's going to retain here. I feel like the only reason that it's not Roman versus Randy in a one-on-one is that this is Randy's, first big match back, apart from War Games, and they don't want him to get beaten straight away. So I can see Randy winning here. I feel like there could be shenanigans with Nick Aldis. Obviously, Nick Aldis has been he's been a great GM, actually, and not just letting Roman do his own thing. When he refused to sign the contract, he was like, yeah, all right, I'll just do it a triple threat for the vacant title. So he's definitely not letting Roman get away with it. And I feel like this is the start of Roman finally losing that title. I know we've all been wishing for it for the past year and a half, but I feel like this has to be it now, because Roman not showing up at the Chamber when it's in Australia in a massive stadium is ridiculous. He should be defending that title. Roman not defending the title between WrestleMania and SummerSlam is a joke. The title reign has been great up until probably WrestleMania 38, really. Then after that, once the belts got unified, obviously that all came from the day one butterfly effect. Him getting COVID led to a lot of changes in WWE. But there is I understand, right, I'm fully agreeing with, yes, he should have a bit of time off, but not showing up on SmackDown between August 11th and September the 13th is actually embarrassing, because this is our main champion. He's been champion for 1,200 days or whatever, and he's barely even on the show. It is ridiculous. It's worse than Lesnar. Lesnar would at least appear once a month, once every few weeks. Roman will go sometimes 2 months without appearing. It's not right. I do agree with him beating Cody at Mania now, looking back at it, but now is the time. Cody has to take the title off him at WrestleMania. If they do Roman versus Rock, they should not do that at Mania. Do it at the Chamber, or do it next year. We don't need it for the title. Roman needs to lose this title now. Like, we cannot go on with Roman as champion for too much longer because it's getting boring at this point now. So, yeah. But, however, Roman's reign will continue because Roman Reigns will win. And now we get into the matches that everyone's talking about. Firstly, we'll start off with the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, this graphic you see on the screen is not all the confirmed entries. I just had to get one because I couldn't find one that showed all the confirmed entries. It happened with the Men's Rumble too. I'm sorry. But with the Women's Rumble, I think this is a lot less predictable than the Men's. I feel like the Men's Rumble, you have 2 candidates and it is likely to be one of those 2, maybe 3. With this one, there could be any winner. Like, with all the returns that have been rumoured, you could see anyone such as Becky Lynch, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Liv Morgan, AJ Lee. Anyone could win this. It is an incredibly exciting Rumble due to all the return rumours. Let's go through some of them. Trinity, aka Naomi, is heavily rumoured to be there. I can see that one happening. Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, again, that is one I think will happen because, you know, she was rumoured to be on Dynamite a few weeks ago. That's just not happened for about 4 weeks now. So I feel like it's pretty obvious she's on her way back to WWE. Gilia, I don't know how you say her name. I don't know what promotion she comes from. That's one that everyone is very keen on. I wouldn't have a clue. It'd be nice to see someone new that I've not ever seen before. So I wouldn't have a clue on that one. I think maybe. AJ Lee, I can see that one as a number 30 little surprise. Obviously due to CM Punk's return, I can see an AJ Lee appearance, maybe not full-time. Maybe she just comes for a Mania match, then goes again. Jade Cargill, I think, is fairly obvious. She will debut in the Women's Rumble. Maybe a stare down with Bianca Belair. And Liv Morgan, I think, is pretty nailed on for a return. Maybe Trish Stratus as well. Maybe Lita. In terms of my winner, now I've gone back and forth on this quite a few times now. Around December time, my prediction was Liv Morgan. Because I think the story with Rhea Ripley obviously portrayed her 2 years ago to join Judgment Day. She's now gone on to bigger and better heights. Liv Morgan had a failed title run and has been injured by Rhea Ripley, so that would make the nice little story. And then obviously she got arrested. She's got a court date coming up. As far as we're aware, that caused no heat, but I am of the opinion that she was penciled in to win that, and I think sort of as a punishment they're going to take it off her, which I would have to agree with, because if Liv Morgan's character is an underdog babyface and she's been caught doing something she shouldn't, why should she be rewarded with a Rumble win? And even then, you don't need Liv Morgan to win the Rumble to get to Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. We have Elimination Chamber coming up. So I think Liv will be in there. I think she will be into the Final Four, but I don't think she'll win. But I wouldn't be shocked if she did. My prediction, I've gone back and forth on this so many times. I've nailed it down to 2 now, but I'm still not sure on which one. I'll give you the 2. So the first one is Becky Lynch, and the second one is Bayley. Now, obviously, they're both part of the 4 Horsewomen. The reasons for Becky Lynch: she would be the first 2-time winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. That is another thing she can add to, main event of WrestleMania, won the Women's Royal Rumble, been champion for over a year, first ever 2-time winner. And obviously the stare down she's having with Rhea Ripley, that's where we're going. Becky versus Rhea at Mania, I think. The reasons for Bayley is obviously this whole angle with Damage Control. She was the MVP at War Games, breaking up everything, but she got pinned. She said in an interview this year is going to define her wrestling legacy. She's being left backstage with this new Damage Control. Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Asuka, Bayley. I can see Bayley winning here, as maybe she gets in really early, goes the distance and wins, and then picks Io and just says that I've had enough of this. I started this group, I started this company. That could be a way to go, or I would have personally I would have Bayley go all the way to the end, from 1 to the end, and get eliminated right at the end, and not have her win the Rumble. And then, damage control can turn on her and saying you were meant to win. What was that about? Because she's lost over the past few weeks and damage control have not given her help. So maybe she does go it alone, doesn't get the win, damage control turn on her. Maybe that is when you bring out Sasha Banks and, you reunite Bayley and Sasha. Maybe. I feel like where we were going, I think the women's division, especially on SmackDown, has been penciled recently due to Charlotte Flair's injury. I feel like where we were meant to go with Mania was Bayley versus Io, Charlotte versus Bianca, and then maybe Jade versus Sasha Banks or something, I don't know. But I can foresee in my mind now maybe a War Games match on one of the nights at WrestleMania. This is complete fantasy booking. Bayley, Bayley, Mercedes Moné, and Naomi versus Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. I can see that in my mind of, a 3-on-3 if Bayley doesn't win the Rumble, or just Bayley versus Io. Maybe add Dakota to that, because this is not because they're all from Asia, but I don't see how Dakota Kai fits in this group with Io, Kairi, and Asuka. I feel like that is a nice little 3. But Dakota still looks like she's in it. I don't really get it. I don't really get the logic behind that. So I don't think that will last much longer. So I can see Bayley, Sasha, and Dakota versus Io, Asuka, and Kairi. I can see that. I still think now we'll get Jade versus Bianca at Mania instead. Because, that's a big, women's one-on-one non-title match. That'd be the first one as well in Mania history. Mental that is, by the way. In terms of my prediction, though, like I said, returns, I'm going to predict a few returns, right? So, for the Women's Rumble, Liv Morgan will return, Jade Cargill will debut, Naomi will return, Sasha Banks will return, and AJ Lee will be at number 30. My winner for the Women's Royal Rumble is Becky Lynch. And then to end us off, we have the Men's Royal Rumble, what I presume will be the main event of the evening. It definitely should be. Here you have all the confirmed entrants. Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Damian Priest, Gunther, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. Now, I don't know why Damian Priest is in it when he has the Money in the Bank contract. I don't really like that. There's a lot of different winners you could have here. For me, there's 3 top candidates. That's Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and of course CM Punk. Now, let's have a discussion about this. Cody Rhodes should not win this, I don't think, because won it last year. We have Elimination Chamber. I think we give the moment to someone else. Gunther got so close last year, has been Intercontinental Champion for nearly 2 years now. Let's have that continue a bit. CM Punk. He's just come back. He's always been on about how he needs the main event of WrestleMania. There's 2 nights to main event of WrestleMania. But has he earned it yet? After everything he did in AEW, has he earned the right to be champion again? I don't know. In terms of return rumours, we'll go through a few now. The Rock is the big one. Obviously, since he's just joined the board of TKO, which is WWE's parent company, he obviously does have a say in the company's decisions now. But he has also been obviously teasing this match with Roman Reigns. A Sports Illustrated reports come out that Cody Rhodes will not be finishing his story, nor will be headlining WrestleMania. I don't buy that at all. I feel like we are going towards Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think The Rock and Roman Reigns will have a match. I think that will be next year. I think what is going to happen is Cody Rhodes is going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, become champion, finish his story. Then we're not going to see Roman Reigns for a long, long time. Now, I think we could go as far as maybe the Rumble without seeing him, because the thing with Roman is that he's been champion for so long. Like, you've got to remember, when he first won the title, like, it was the year that Edge came back. Like, Edge had just got injured. We just had, The Fiend was still going about. I can't imagine in my mind now, what does a part-time Roman Reigns do in WWE without the title? Because he's been champion since 2020. Like, it is a remarkable reign, but the thing is, the reign instantly becomes worse when he defends the title 6 times a year. Like, Seth Rollins defended his title in June more times than Roman Reigns did all year. Like, I think Seth Rollins in the last half of 2023 probably defended his title more than Roman Reigns has since 2021. It's getting beyond ridiculous at this point with Roman. I love Roman. I respect everything he's done. I'm so glad he's finally been able to create this character that people like, because obviously the years of being incredibly hated, and it took him having leukemia to get the fans even on his side. And even then, they were still being hesitant with him, which I always found extremely disrespectful. I understand why people didn't like the Roman character. He's finally cultivated this character. There's a lot of changes I would have made to the character. I feel like he's too much of a coward. I don't like that. His whole thing when he returned was wreck everyone and leave. And he seems to be, when Lesnar came and challenged him, he'd just go. I don't know. But I feel like Roman, what I would do is Roman leaves for a long time, and then have Paul Heyman get behind Solo. Solo becomes the new tribal chief. Then we have Solo start to give a few little digs at Roman and maybe challenge him to a match at Survivor Series, I'd say. Roman beats Solo, so he's back on top in the family. And then Roman in the Rumble trying to regain his title. Number 30, The Rock. Bang, you set up the Mania match, WrestleMania 41, because then you can do two things. You have WrestleMania 41, The Rock can go into the Hall of Fame the night before. I don't see that happening this year because I think the Hall of Fame will be too crowded with other people. But that's where you set up Roman versus Rock. Let Roman lose his title. That match doesn't need a title. It becomes automatically too predictable. Cody beats Roman. In terms of the other matches, I think in terms of returns, the ones I see happening, Brock Lesnar, definitely see that one happening. I can see a stare down with Gunther to set up the WrestleMania match, Gunther versus Brock for the Intercontinental title. One I've seen not mentioned too much, but I think will happen, Uncle Howdy. Now, this could be my Bray Wyatt legacy fan coming out here. I do think Uncle Howdy will return in this Rumble. Now, we've heard these rumours that they're going to continue this Bray Wyatt storyline to pay legacy to him. I don't think there'd be any better way to pay to his legacy than announce on Saturday that Bray Wyatt will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and then have Uncle Howdy be in the Royal Rumble. I'm not suggesting he wins it, obviously not. You can't give him... I know they've done it before with Rey Mysterio to Eddie Guerrero, but you can't give someone a title win just because their brother died. I know as callous as that sounds, you can't do that. But I do think Uncle Howdy will be in the Rumble. I think Brock Lesnar will be there. I think Sheamus will be in the Rumble. That's a return I don't think people have thought about too much. In terms of big debuts or returns, I can only really see one in the Men's Royal Rumble. Andrade, I think, is pretty nailed in that Andrade will return. This is all I can think of off the top of my head. But I think Andrade is a return that's coming. I could see Shawn Spears maybe, because he's been teasing a few things. Obviously, used to be Ty Dillinger in WWE. I could see Shawn Spears. Everyone is going to want MJF. I would love MJF in WWE. I do think we will get MJF in WWE, but just not now. I feel like that will be later on, 2026, 2027. I feel like MJF has 100% re-signed with AEW. I don't see why they would have given him the title reign for the whole year. If he was leaving, they would have built up the story. His contract is over, bidding war 2024, because that was never really mentioned during World's End with the programme with Samoa Joe or Adam Cole. So I don't see MJF in the Royal Rumble this year. I definitely see it soon, in a few years' time, but not now. But in terms of my winner for the Royal Rumble 2024, it's an obvious pick, but it's the right one. CM Punk is going to win the Men's Royal Rumble. It's quite obvious. It's going to be Punk. Cody can still have his, way to Roman in the Elimination Chamber. I can see it. CM Punk number 1, Cody Rhodes number 2. They go all the way. They get to the last 2. Punk eliminates Cody. With all the stare downs that Punk has been having, I just see it. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, goes to WrestleMania and beats Seth. We all know that feud is going to feed families. Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble. But as always, they were just my predictions. Let me know yours down in the comments section below. I hope everyone has a great time watching the Royal Rumble, wherever you're watching it. If you're watching it with family, friends, it's the best pay-per-view of the year, other than WrestleMania and SummerSlam. It is just the Royal Rumble. It's great. Be excited for all the surprises. Have a great time. Sorry for how long this video has been. Definitely my longest video ever, clocking in about 21 minutes. I know it's not the easiest thing to listen to, but there's just so much to talk about with the Rumble. I feel like it's more unpredictable than ever. Thank you all for watching. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. Let me know any other videos you've got to see. I've been recording a few lately. A video coming up on Seth Rollins next week. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.